Imagine it's 6 in the morning and your alarm goes off.
You drag yourself to the bathroom, look in the mirror, and that familiar wave of disappointment hits. Your belly is still there, looking exactly as it did yesterday. And the worst part is knowing you did everything right. You didn't eat any junk, you stayed hydrated, and you even turned down that delicious roll.
Your day was a 10 out of 10, but it seems like the fat is stubborn and won't budge.
You know what nobody ever told you?
The thing is, burning belly fat doesn't happen while you're awake.
Actually, this process takes place almost entirely at night.
Your body prefers to target stubborn visceral fat while you're sleeping.
The biggest problem is the many small mistakes we overlook between dinner and falling into a deep sleep.
These mistakes act like an off switch, and if you hit that button, fat burning simply won't kick in. Today, I'm going to show you step by step what happens inside you when the lights go out.
Back in 2018, a team from the University of Alabama published a study in a prestigious scientific journal that completely transformed our understanding of weight loss.
The study's name was complicated, but the idea was simple: eat everything earlier. They took men on the verge of developing diabetes and split them into two groups.
Both groups consumed the exact same amount of food and calories.
The only difference was the clock.
One group ate all their meals between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. The other group ate at their usual time, well into the night.
The results were jaw-dropping. Those who finished eating early saw a massive improvement in health, lower blood pressure, and significantly reduced bodily stress in just 5 weeks.
What does this teach us in practice? Your body is not a calorie calculator.
It is a living system with an internal clock.
This little clock determines whether what you eat turns into energy or gets stored as stubborn belly fat.
Quanto mais tarde você come, mais o seu pâncreas se esforça para dar conta do trabalho, justamente no momento em que seu corpo quer relaxar para dormir.
The result is obvious: more body fat and more frustration in front of the mirror.
Speaking of synchronization, there's a hormone that runs everything behind the scenes, and it only kicks in when the bedroom light changes.
Pense no seu corpo como uma cidade com dois prefeitos que lutam constantemente pelo poder.
One is called insulin, and the other is called glucagon.
The rule is clear: they never rule at the same time.
When you eat, especially sweets or carbs, your pancreas releases insulin.
It enters the bloodstream with a mission: to take the sugar and store it, starting with the muscles and the liver. But once these stores are full, everything goes straight to fat.
Insulin is the storage hormone. As it circulates through your bloodstream, a tiny key that unlocks fat cells remains locked.
Without this key, belly fat won't budge at all.
It is physically impossible to burn fat when insulin levels are high.
É aí que entra o outro prefeito, o glucagon. He takes over when insulin levels drop, which usually happens a few hours after your last meal.
He's the one who signals the liver to tap into its reserves and release fat to be burned.
It's glucagon that turns your sleep into a real weight loss machine.
If you're enjoying learning about your body in this simple way, leave a like and join our group.
The problem is that if you have a late dinner or keep snacking while watching a series, insulin will still be in your system when your head hits the pillow.
If you don't fix this, your body will keep storing fat while you sleep, even if you think you're on a diet.
Glucagon needs silence to function, and this silence has an enemy that almost no one notices.
Most Brazilian families have a habit they follow every day without a second thought: making dinner the biggest meal of the day. A big plate of rice, beans, and meat around 8 or 9 at night, then heading straight to the couch to watch TV and fall asleep.
It might seem like a small thing, but it's one of the biggest mistakes you can make.
Biologically speaking, your internal clock starts shutting down digestion as soon as the sun sets.
O corpo reduz a produção de suco gástrico e o trânsito intestinal desacelera.
The body is gearing up to clean house and repair itself, not to process a massive meal. When you eat a heavy meal late at night, your body has to prioritize digestion, using up energy that should be spent burning fat and repairing cells. This cleaning process only occurs when insulin levels are significantly low. Besides, many people think they're hungry at night, but in reality, it's just stress from the day or boredom. The brain craves a quick reward to unwind and uses food as a shortcut, but your metabolism pays the price. If you pay attention, you'll notice that the days you eat the most at night are the days you were most stressed or tired. This robs your body of its most critical work shift.
There's one thing most diets overlook, and that's why so many people lose weight on the scale but still struggle with a bloated belly.
There are two types of fat.
Subcutaneous fat is the kind you can pinch with your fingers, found just under the skin on your arms or legs.
It's annoying in a bikini, but it's not that dangerous.
Now, visceral fat is a different story. It stays hidden deep inside, hugging your liver, your heart, and your intestines. You can't see it, but it's there, posing a serious threat, releasing substances that inflame your entire body and cause you to store even more fat.
It's a vicious cycle. And here's the secret. Sleep is the only time your body focuses on burning this deep fat.
When you enter deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone, commonly known as GH.
This hormone is highly effective at breaking down visceral fat and converting it into energy.
In other words, sleeping soundly is how you burn fat from the inside out. But if you're sleeping poorly or constantly waking up, your body releases cortisol, the stress hormone.
Cortisol does the opposite. It tells the body to hold on to belly fat, as if it were a treasure for an emergency.
That's why people who don't sleep well and are constantly stressed can't lose belly fat. The body goes into survival mode and holds on to everything. What bothers me most is that people focus only on the mirror and forget about real health. Losing 3 kilos of water weight means nothing if you're still inflamed on the inside.
It's like painting over a moldy wall. It looks good for a few days, and then everything goes to ruin again.
If cortisol is the villain of the night, what might be keeping your levels elevated at bedtime? The answer might be right in the palm of your hand. A friend of mine did everything right, trained hard, ate chicken and sweet potatoes, but he just couldn't lose the belly fat.
His mistake was simple. He stayed up late on the computer with a bright light in his face and snacked on nuts or protein bars late at night.
Even though it was healthy food, the timing was terrible. The blue light from screens tricks the brain into thinking it's still daytime, suppressing melatonin production and keeping cortisol levels high. We only changed 2 things. He started closing the kitchen at 7 p.m. and stopped looking at screens late at night.
Without changing a thing in his training routine, he lost 4 kilos of belly fat in 30 days and woke up feeling much more energized.
Imagine you are a caveman.
When the sun sets and it gets dark, your brain knows it's time to rest and burn fat. But these days, we have lights all over the house, and our phones are always on. Your brain gets confused, thinking it's noon. This blocks melatonin, which, in addition to helping with sleep, signals fat cells that it's time to burn. Suppressing melatonin with your phone's light effectively shuts down your body's nighttime fat-burning process. The solution isn't rocket science. Just dim the lights after 8 p.m. and swap your phone for a book or an audiobook.
This signals to your brain that the day is over and it can begin its cleanup process.
But controlling the light is only half the battle. Another factor is the room temperature. Enough talk. Let's get to the practical step-by-step. There are 4 simple steps to follow every night.
Step 1. Close the kitchen at 7 p.m.
Finish your last meal by this time, so your insulin levels drop well before you go to bed.
Step 2. Keep the house dark after 8 p.m.
Dim the lights and stay off your phone.
This will boost your melatonin levels.
Passo 3. Tent to maintain the quarter fresh, entering 18 to 20 degrees.
The cold helps the body reach deep sleep and release fat-burning hormones.
An overly hot room leads to shallow sleep and elevated cortisol levels.
Step 4. Relax your mind before bed. Try deep breathing or a 10-minute stretch to release the day's stress.
If you follow this, your body will finally be able to burn off that stubborn fat.
So, what did you think of the video? Did you like it?
So subscribe to the channel and hit the like button.
Check out the video on your screen right now. I guarantee you'll like it too.